Hello and welcome to the Kindred Essence Tarot and to my latest reading, which is on what is the worst thing that they have done. So I'm going to put a trigger warning on this because I don't know how far this is going to go, but if I get anything like sort of disturbing, I'm going to use sort of maybe coded languages is not to make it less triggering or to make it less traumatizing. I don't know how far it's going to go, but my sense is each pile is going to be very different, but I don't know yet because I haven't gone to the 4 piles. But I have 4 piles. 1, it says grace. 2, it is gold. 3, it's like some sort of bracelet. 4, it's like this, you see, kind of a whitish, iridescent type stone. So think of a particular person, and you can plug different people into this. So I'm going to deliver this the best way that I know how, and let us get started. Pile number 1. What is the worst thing that they have done? Let's see. Grace. The Queen of Pentacles. 9 of Pentacles. The 4 of Cups. The Knight of Wands and the Temperance. My sense of this person, they're a little bit of like they're a little bit of a hypocrite, and they ran away from something that was truly valuable, is what I'm hearing. So I'm getting kind of a hypocritical vibe here. And it's kind of like this person, Queen of Pentacles, Knight of Wands, or the person didn't really go with something that they truly valued. Like they kind of sold themselves out on a level that people may not be aware of. And I'm hearing that this person, they did it out of fear, and they didn't know how to make the bits of their life go together. It's like this, but it's like, I'm going to try and go a little bit deeper with that. So this person did something very, like, that went against their core values to such a degree that they don't know that they can live with themselves, is what I'm hearing. And it's something, and I'm hearing it may be a big thing, but it may be a big thing only in this person's mind. But it's kind of like this person, they try, and it came from sort of pretending that they are different things to other people. And then because of that, they kind of, I'm hearing they could have betrayed. Okay, I'm hearing something. They could have gotten some sort of information from somebody that was, like, entrusted to them, like, very, like it was supposed to be entrusted to them, and they kind of used it to get ahead, or they used it to sort of manipulate a situation, all while portraying themselves in a certain way. So it kind of went underneath, something that kind of went underneath the counter, and it's sort of like they knew that it wasn't something that they should do, but they did it to get ahead. They did something, they used some sort of information to get ahead. Almost two-faced, like pretending to be one person to another, and then to another person, and then using what one person did or said to get ahead. So it was like this person, and I'm hearing it in some cases it's a very big deal, very big betrayal, but in some cases it's like not such a big betrayal. And sometimes they did it out of selfishness, but in some cases they did it because they thought it was for someone's good. But now they're doubting that, and they feel that they've almost ashamed themselves with their and they feel, and the biggest secret is that they're many different things to different people, and because of that they feel fake. And it's like they give different messages to different people. They're almost a chameleon, and that in itself is okay sometimes, I guess, but in the right, as long as you're not damaging people. But they realize now that they damaged people by not being true to themselves, in some way attack, and they may have done something like very sly beneath the scenes to get themselves to move forward. and they, like, it's like this sleight of hand that they did, this sort of this manipulation, and like they almost made this someone fail that they could succeed. It almost gives me the impression of, okay, like the talking to a boss, and then one, like your friend in the company really wants a promotion and you do too, and like sort of twisting information about this person in order to like somebody, it's like almost somebody they depended on, they threw under the bus, and they'd prefer not to think about it. Like the boss says, oh shit, we're trying to decide who to promote, and then they said this information, oh, this person, they kind of twisted information to make it look like this person was bad when they weren't. Ugly laughter, ugly laugh. And I'm hearing that, yeah, this person feels bad because they're kind of two-faced, and they, like, it just, this probably gives me a great sense of this person being two-faced and feeling really bad about it, or doing something to advance themselves, and then feeling, and then they realizing that they like, they, now it made someone feel stupid, and now they feel, but my feeling is that it's bit them on the behind with their conscience, right? That their conscience, in generally, if this person has a conscience, maybe they don't, maybe they do, but I'm feeling this person mostly feels guilty, but they still, it's like they continue the posture, like, yeah, like two-faced posturing, like just, like, it's my sense is this person is that they could be, you know, when they talk about somebody whose their entire life is a lie, that's kind of the energy, like they sowed seeds of confusion, or even pretended that they were confused about something they weren't. Like they did a lie, they really wanted to get ahead, and so they did like a lie to do so. And you know what, I that's crazy. I flipped that before I saw that lie. I got a lie. They lied to, and then I got lie here. So a lie, and I said before, they're living a lie. That's, I like this deck, right? It's and hope, and they hope that the person won't notice, or they hope that it can smooth it over, because my feeling this person is, like, they try to be integrous, but they kind of have a bit of a demon on their shoulder that causes them to do self-defeating anger. It's like this person, it's like their life, what they did, it was like an indicative of a sort of a spiritual test that they were supposed to pass, and they didn't pass, and they feel guilty about that. Like they were supposed to act more integrous, and they didn't. Even I'm hearing lying about their income to pay less child support. That's not going to resonate for everybody, but obviously, but it's kind of, that's the, like they did something that was really, like, not, like, it's one thing to break laws, right? But like, but to break actual, you know, like social mores. Pile number one. Yeah, so like they broke their own, and they feel they're kind of still, it's kind of, I get the sense that they're kind of in a house of cards because of it, and they have guilt. Everything in their life is like a house of cards that almost fell down. They didn't want it to fall down, so they told the lie, but then it like it made it even worse, and now they're kind of living in with the guilt of it, if that makes sense. Like, even if they succeeded, like, just say they got their job and succeeded, they feel like they're at the top of the heap, but they feel guilty about what they did to get there, type thing. Yeah, somebody who did something to get, they could have even, it's gonna, like, they could have slept with someone even to get to the top, and now they feel kind of guilty about that. Like, it gives me the energy of, like, just say it gives me Judas energy. Like, there was two friends, like, they wanted to be an actor, and they were both going to the same role, and they were basically, they were like, oh, well, we're competing, we're both, like, the two friends that want to make it in LA, but then one actually sleeps with the director and then gets the part, and then the other friend doesn't know why that person got the part, type thing. That's the energy I'm giving, like something like, not saying that's necessarily it, but that's just the kind of energy that I'm getting of it. Like somebody just did something in order to get ahead, and it was hidden, and now they kind of, it's in the back of their mind. All right, that's pile number one. Pile number two. Hello, pile number two. What is the worst thing that this person's done? The Star. I'm hearing this person, they did some huge amount of emotional damage to somebody. They took away their light. So that could be, I mean, that could be a myriad of different things. That could be some form of trigger warning, abusive behavior, psychological abuse. It could even be, darker forms of abuse. I kind of want to keep this trigger for YouTube friendly and everything, but I sense that this person did some real psychological damage, and they made somebody feel very much less than. They could have even made the child feel less, and they did some form of psychological damage. Five of Pentacles and Knight of Pentacles. Like they did some form of real psychological damage that actually changed the trajectory of someone's life. Like, for example, okay, this is what's coming to mind, and I want to try and keep this as trigger warning as possible, but just say they had a child in their care, or even something like this is the like, I'm gonna try and keep this YouTube friendly, but this is the example that came to mind, right? And you could, sometimes these examples are just kind of like keeping the energy of whatever it is. And basically, okay, for example, they just say they did some psychological damage to a child, right? Trigger warning, and it could be, it could be very dark psychological damage, but we'll just kind of use your imagination as to what that could mean, right? Because we want to keep this YouTube friendly, but they did some form of maybe verbal abuse, maybe other types of abuse, trigger warning, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, but this person became a drug addict as a result or something. And it totally changed the trajectory of their life. So this person did a really dark thing. They almost stole the life and goodness away from somebody through their words or their cruelty over a short period of time or a long period of time. Or the type, okay, I've given another example that's maybe not as dark and serious, although it could be that, like they said to a child, you'll never, like a teacher that said, oh, you'll never succeed, you're a stupid, like, retard or something. And then the child never pursued their dreams because they had done this damage or something, right? It's kind of like this person they kind of stole the universe's essence or power by doing this. They really, I'm hearing very heavy karma for this. Very heavy karma for this. Eliminate. They may have even okay, and I want to try and keep this as, YouTube friendly as possible, but like they may have even someone know that they did something, so they may have taken them off the earth plane, if you know what I mean. They may have done that, but we're going to keep it. But so they may have, let's show the card here. They may have eliminated and then basically done, and then no one knew, and then they did some, like, just changed something. They took almost the spirit away from somebody, or even the life essence away from person to the point that maybe they're not here anymore. Wow. So it feels dark, this one. Pain, like they caused, like what they did caused unending karmic pain for everybody. Oh, and then, like I said before, this came up, a child. Like I was saying before, child. So yeah, we want to keep this, not trigger worthy, or triggering, but it's kind of like they could have, like I was like picked it before, they could have done something like changed the psyche of a child through some means, which could have gotten really dark, or it could have just been words, not just, we don't want to say just, but it could have gotten even darker than their hesitation. And now they did such a damage to somebody that they just basically habit, as in, yeah, drugs. I keep on getting that habit, like they could have changed someone emotionally to the point that they had to go to drugs. Wow. And stole the laughter is what I'm hearing. They kind of stole the spirit of laughter of somebody, like even somebody who's a really good soul. The laughter, and then joy, like the joy, like they took the joy, like what they did, like appearance. But I'm hearing this person's very much about, they want to maintain their appearance. So it's kind of like, will it catch up with this person? I think so. I'm hearing there's 3 different ways that this will catch up with this person karmically, but you'd have to see that over like a lifetime to see how this will catch up with the person. But it will catch up with the person. And yeah, laughter. I'm hearing this person feels that they're laughing. In some cases, they feel like they're laughing all the way to the bank, but they're not going to be getting along. They're not going to basically like, they're not going to get away from this forever, you know. This is your life's purpose. So this person, yeah, they're such a dark soul that they tend to like take the spirit away from people, the life out of them, the guardian protected. Yeah, your children, are watched over by angels. They made children feel unsafe. Maybe almost the adult child, like even when someone's an adult, the child is so unsafe. Like the person doesn't feel protected. They took away their spirit and essence, somebody's spirit or essence. So yeah, that feels pretty dark. Huh. Anyway, that's all we've got for pile number 2. Very dark, very, very kind of sad. It has a sad, almost grotesque energy of what the person is capable of. But yeah, I hope I kept that as trigger free as possible. But yeah, let's go to pile number 3. What is the worst thing that someone has done? The Moon. I'm hearing messed with people's emotions intentionally. It is kind of a friendship bracelet. 2 of Wands. The person did something. You know when somebody does something that's, they feel like, let's give them a sense that this person had really ill intent with what they did, and they know that they had ill intent. They didn't have good intentions when they did something, and they basically they don't have good intentions, and they essentially like, okay, so what is the darkest person the person did? They may have said that they had good intentions. They mess with someone's emotions intentionally. That's what I'm getting. That Page of Swords, and the negative would do that. It's kind of emotional manipulation, using words, really, really words. And the person, they decided to do it, and they did it out of just sort of cruelty. That's what I'm hearing. The person, I'm just struck by just the negative intention about that. This person did it, and they knew what they were doing. They knew that it would have a negative effect on someone's emotions at some level, and they may not consciously know that, but they did it anyway. They did it anyway, and they basically, yeah, they chose to, the 2 of Wands, they chose to expand. They knew, like, they were fully in their conscious mind when they did these cruel actions, right? Because sometimes people, and I'm not saying it, like, excuses certain behavior, but sometimes people are kind of unconscious. But this feels like this person did this consciously. Let's see. It feels like this might turn into a karmic reading, because sometimes that do believe and trust. So they did, like, they basically, believe, and I'm going to get some more information. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Shield yourself. So they made people feel unsafe. Admit the truth. So I'm hearing that this person, it's hard for them to admit what they did. Like, because it gives me the sense of somebody who, like, they did these toxic things, but they told themselves that they did it out of love. But they really didn't, is what I'm hearing. So, but it was just the ill intentionality of what they did, emotional damage to somebody, and laughter. So they may have even, it almost gives me like, they were almost gleeful about doing it, and it was like the thing about it is there was no reason. It wasn't getting back at anybody. It wasn't like it wasn't like, you know, somebody did something to them first and they retaliated. It was just surely just from their own sickness that they did that, and the person didn't deserve it. They just basically, they kind of wanted to stir up trouble just for their own entertainment. They just wanted to do something, like, maybe they thought it would make their life wonderful. Maybe their life wasn't wonderful, but they just did it they did some cruel actions for their own, almost maybe a bullying actions in some way, like just destroys, because they kind of targeted and bullied somebody because they deemed them stupid or unworthy, and then they thought they just destroyed them emotionally, just for almost for fun and kicks is what I'm seeing. They basically, like, yeah, they basically, and that's the worst thing that the person's done, right? Maybe the person was more successful, or they feared, I don't know, maybe they feared the person, maybe, or maybe it was just like they just got a high from doing that. But it's like, what I mean, fear should, but like there was probably a lot of fear in this person, so they did something, but it was just, so it's sort of the darkest thing they did. They did something very, very, like unintentional, like something that they said, oh, this wasn't really, like it was extremely, it was from negative intent what they did, and it was consciously cruel. Like it was consciously, it could be, okay, it could be even, and I'm hearing this, maybe this sort of pattern maybe towards a child in some cases with the Six of Cups. So kind of like, it's kind of like that. It's kind of like they, it kind of also, a trigger warning, it almost gives me the sense of this, like, I'm hearing in some cases, it's gonna sound, I don't want to trigger warning, but they may have been physically cruel to somebody too. Like there could have been, I'm getting that, like something really nasty to somebody that they couldn't defend themselves. It could have been the elderly. I'm hearing it could have been a child, but it was like a full volitional, like it was with full volitional awareness that they did it. Like they did it with such nasty intentions, but it was somebody who couldn't defend themselves. In some cases it was somebody who was like an adult. They did something like nasty, said something nasty just to mess somebody up, just for their own entertainment. But in some cases, I'm almost seeing like a physical, like abuse, trigger warning, but towards like an adult or a child, somebody who couldn't, or an elderly child type thing, someone who couldn't defend themselves. And it's like, so yeah, a really nasty, ill-intentioned energy. And I'm hearing that there might be a big cover up with it. There may be a big cover up. Like, this person may have covered or even threatened the person in some cases. Not all, like, and that's just some of them. Some of them, they just said something really ill-intentioned to an adult. Somebody who could, who was kind of more or less their equal. But in some cases, they did something, it was like somebody who was not their equal and who couldn't defend themselves. So in some cases, somebody who could defend themselves. In some cases, it was somebody who didn't. So yeah, it's like, it was just really, it was uncalled for. Success came up again too. Like, I'm hearing this person may have been frustrated by something in some way, or it's like there's some frustrated energy that they wanted to get out of their system, but like they, like some cycle, like they may have been part of a cycle of abuse too, but it's like this was completely uncalled for what they did. And yeah, so that was pile number 3. Now let us see pile number 4. What is the worst thing that this person has done? Let us see. The 3 of Pentacles, 4 of Wands. This feels like a big one. 2 of Pentacles, kind of a is it complex? I don't know. Everything is fine. So this is what will happen. I'll get it, and it's like the energy will push me away from it, and I will. And it's like almost like the energy doesn't want me to know what it is. Like it had this happen before, and it's kind of like this energy, and it's like my mind goes blank, and I just can't get anything. So let's get some more information. this did not happen in any of the other piles. I knew exactly what to say at first, but this is okay. What has happened? Rot. Everything is fine in rot. So this feels quite serious. Let's get some more information. This feels quite serious, and the fact that it's pushing me away from this energy. I'm hearing like okay. The first image, and I see somebody dancing on a grave stone. Interesting. That's what I'm seeing. A good dancing on a gravestone. So maybe somebody was responsible for that. I don't know in some cases. I don't think that's the whole picture of it, but that's just the first thing that I saw. Men rot. So violate. So I'm hearing that in some cases this person did the worst thing they've done isn't actually, I'm getting there's a lot of different energies to this pile, but this person may have been sought revenge on someone, but the person may have actually deserved it. And they may, it gives me the sense of, okay, what popping to my mind is Aileen Wuornos, right? You know, she's the one in the movie Monster, and she started, you know, she was, you know, she was abused and everything, right? But she, as a child, and then she became like a serial killer of, like, she was a prostitute of the, and I'm saying this person really wants his hidden. So I'm hearing in some cases this action that this person really sought revenge on someone, and it could have been something like that. But I'm hearing in some cases this, and I'm not saying all, but some cases this person that they sought revenge on actually deserved it. In some cases, because this person did something really bad. It gives me the sense of somebody who, you know, takes off the earth plane. Really awful people who do awful things. So in some cases, but I'm hearing in other cases, it was not justified. And this person, it was like an ego thing. Like some of this, it gives me the sense of somebody who like gets rid, like they got rid of their spouse type energy, and it wasn't justified. It was, like, in some cases it's not justified, and the person just did it for maybe even money or like because they wanted something. Maybe they found out something about this person and they were just, it gives me, yeah, either Aileen Wuornos justified energy, or it gives me, like, it's kind of a split pile. Aileen Wuornos, not saying that everything she did was justified, but if you see that the kind of stuff that she went through, like, it kind of, how she snapped on these men was kind of justified. But then it kind of goes to another part of this pile is like, someone did something that, like, it was not justified. It was just for pure selfishness. Like, for example, it gives me the impression of, okay, I've been with the same person for 30 years. I don't want them anymore, but I want half their house. And if like, I'll get half their house if something happens, so I'm gonna cut their break or something. That's the kind of energy, like doing something or slip something into their food. Then I won't have to pay alimony to my ex-wife. And the person might be thinking, well, it is justified or something in their own mind, but it's not really justified. But in some cases, like I said, it was justified. The person, they did something to someone who truly was evil, but in other cases, it just absolutely wasn't, and it gives me sociopathic vibes. So, let's see. So, and it still feels hidden. When I feel the energy, it feels very hidden. In some cases, they may have, like really gone to the dark side in a way that is, and then I'm getting something else, like this person, they may have really allowed their impulses to take over, their pain to take over, and they did something that they know is really wrong, that they wanted to, it gives them the energy of, like, they kept this aspect of their life, they didn't want to do this, they didn't want to, like, it gives me almost like somebody, just say they have impulses to do something really nasty, like R-word somebody, R-word against their consent, doing something even, like, going into the realm of, like, really dark stuff involving little ones, that kind of thing, right? That kind of, but they kind of like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. But then the pain was too much, and then they just acted it out. They acted it out, and like, now they're really secretive about it. Like they know it was wrong, and they hope no one finds out. That's the energy, right? They hope to block the energy of it. They hope to block everything is fine. They almost want to, it gives me that energy of like a Cheshire cat who wants to be like, oh, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. And yeah, like everything is fine. And it's not really fine. Nine of Swords. Everything's fine, but they're really worried, and they want to block this. They really don't want people to know. It gives me this pile feels like it's gone into the realm of illegal activity, some sort of illegal activity. Even like I'm hearing camp counselor or something. Somebody who's like in a position of over other people or other younger people, like it's just like, and the person were like, no, I'm not going to do this, but then their demons came out and they did it. But it did it, yeah, the Ace of Cups, like their emotions and their pain were too much, and then they acted out too. So it's like, yeah, this pile gives me that impression of like illegal activity. And take your time making this decision. So I'm hearing this person did not take their time making, or they, in some cases when it was emotionally driven, they did not take their time making the decision. They let their pain overcome them and they acted out in this way. But in other cases, they did take their time and it was very calculated. Whether it was a revenge, justified revenge, or in a lot of cases it wasn't justified. But in some cases they took, so it's kind of a split pile. Like they took their time making this decision and they really plotted it out. In some cases but in some cases it was an impulse thing. They tried to keep the pain back. They acted about it. And then now they want to keep the secret type thing. So yeah, it feels, and the energy pushed me back at first. The energy, I was like, I couldn't, and this happens when something's particularly secretive. You feel the energy kind of push you back and like, oh, I don't, like this person doesn't, or some aspect of the pile really doesn't want you to know. So yeah, so I'm hearing that, like I'm hearing something too, if you sense something about this person and their unsafety, know that it is not, they may even try and blame other people. I'm hearing it's not your fault, because they may eventually try and blame people, and they're not going to resonate for everybody. It's like, it feels really, nonetheless, it feels really gnarly, this pile.